What's happening, ladies and gentlemen? My name is Acronator, and welcome to the start of a new mini-series I will be producing over the course of the next week, where I will be going over the basics of how to get started and gain experience in the production side of Overwatch Esports. Throughout the next 5 days, I will be covering the basics of play-by-play casting, color casting, and streaming/observing. There are plenty of other aspects to esports production than these three, however these tend to be the most popular, so I want to stick to a few topics for the time being. If the demand is high enough, I can go over more in-depth topics in the future, but I digress. Before I go any further, I do want to put this disclaimer out there. This series is going to be tailored primarily towards people who have little to no experience in these fields and don't know where to start. If you already have experience in casting or observing, you may find some of the information redundant or even contrary to your own style, and that's intended. While you may find some tips and tricks helpful, it's probably going to be more productive for you to discover your own style. This series is just meant to lay the groundwork for someone who's having difficulty finding their jumping off point. Now that we've got that out of the way, some of you are probably wondering who I am and why I'm qualified to be talking about these topics. A reasonable concern for sure. For those of you who aren't as familiar with my work, I have been a staff member in a reasonably large community called League Zero for a little under 2 years at this point. I first joined as an admin in late February 2019 and immediately got to work as the founding member for their production crew. It was rough at first, and to be honest I was making most of it up as I went along, but you tend to learn a thing or two when thrusting yourself headfirst into a topic such as this. I've immersed myself into this field deeper than I'd like to admit, and had the honor of working with people from all walks of life and just about the entire spectrum of experience, from those who are looking to cast their first game because they thought it would be fun, to certified semi-professionals. I've seen it all. And that's not to mention all the times I've had to fill in because a streamer or a caster suddenly couldn't make the game they were scheduled for. By this point, I easily have dozens if not hundreds of hours on each of the 3 topics I'll be discussing this week. With that being said, that's just about all the information I have for this introductory video. The first episode in this mini-series should have come out at the crack of noon EST, meaning that you should be able to click the link in the description or at the end of this video to go there. In today's video, we'll be going over the basics of play-by-play casting, with color casting coming out on Wednesday at noon, and finally streaming/observing being released on Friday. So if you're not as interested in today's topic, you should now be aware of when to check back in for the video you do want to see. I hope you find this series informative, and that's all I've got, so until next time, don't die.